The Salene Solution presents Naked, the podcast series that pairs it all. Real life experiences, how they were dealt with, and the lessons learned. Facing the person in the mirror always makes us check ourselves, accept our past, and guides us to make the decisions that are best for our peace of mind. Are you naked? Here's your host, Salene Griffith. This podcast is for adults 18 years and over.
Look how you're born with flavor, flavor, flavor. Melanin flavor, flavor, flavor. Sign the pen on your paper, paper, paper. Melanin flavor, flavor, flavor.
Oh, good. After I make that curry stew chicken the other day, I dedicate that song to myself. And big up to Mikal Teja. That one is so dope. I love it. And yeah, of course, that's our boy Mikal Teja. So all the best to you, buddy. Well, guys, welcome to episode 2 of season 3 of the Naked Podcast. And you guess what the name of this one is? Yeah, Salene Cooks. That is 2 words I never thought I could get in the same sentence. Here's why. I never thought that I would want to cook. Remember, I told y'all in the last episode that I am so much like my mother. She learned to cook late in life, like in her 30s, and I followed suit because mommy could cook, daddy could cook, my sisters could cook, granny. So what is I wasting time to do that for? I know how to eat. So that's what I did. Of course, when you move out on your own and you have your picnic them, you have to cook for them. It's not all the time people could drop food for you, or it's not all the time you can go and buy fast food or go to the restaurant. You know, times have changed significantly, both financially and with this pandemic. You know, from the time you're here, as of midnight tonight, you don't know what to expect, what part of the country they're closing down, what sector rather of the country they're closing down, or what is it that we have access to. Well, on that night, on that afternoon rather, when the PM say, as of midnight tonight, all restaurants will be closed. I mean, I totally get it. I totally understand. We're trying to keep the figures down. But I was quaking in my boots horse because I'm like, what I gonna do? I had a cook, boy. Oh, shit. So it became the norm. And why I decided to do a whole topic on this is because I actually prefer to cook. I'm still very not somebody who likes to be in the kitchen. But when it comes to my health, I would rather eat the food that I have cooked. So that's what we're talking about today. She could cook. Right, so I was a real scaredy cat, right? Salene, as a child, everybody in the kitchen, mommy stewing the chicken. You know how the chicken will go shwa when you put it in the pot to stew, right? I used to rail ball down the place, crying long tears because that thing frightening me. I tell you, real backside behavior, you know. And I couldn't take the wing. Don't give me no wing because you see that skin, it used to look like rash. So now that your girl cooking, I shouldn't say now that because I mean I've been cooking for say about 10 years now. But it's not that frequent. Most times I will buy food. Let's put it like this. My children, from in their early years, they're accustomed to mommy buying food at night for dinner. And on the weekend, we go by granny for lunch. So let's put that into perspective there. So when they taste my food, when I cook for them, the first time that I cooked for them, you know that tri-colored pasta that they have? I remember my son saying, Mommy, what is this poison? The food's spoiling. Why is it green? The poor child. And then when they tasted my stew chicken, the first time I gave them stew chicken that I cooked, the little boy told me I get my license to cook. You know, these two I have there, their mouth not easy, you know, but then again, where they get it from? So cooking for me was really something that I tried to avoid. I didn't have the confidence to cook because one, it's not something I did growing up. And I really found that the chicken looked a kind of way when you had to clean it. Mind you, I'm the first to want to go and eat it. But the whole preparation part was an issue for me. And even now is a whole ceremony to clean chicken because every piece of fat has to come out. You see the back of the thigh? That thing down in the little back of the thigh there, you had to get that out. So this is why I'm so skeptical about buying food outside, particularly meat. Because if you have your 11 spices on that chicken, and I still had to see that black thing looking like a brain when it cooked in the back of the thigh, it means you didn't clean the chicken. And so I can't trust to buy the food from you again. Now when my chicken tasting good so. Now mind you, I ain't mastered the frying chicken part, so I still had to buy that. But I'm not buying no thigh from them because they don't clean the chicken. So I usually will buy the breast meat because I'm like, okay, well, there's so much you could take out of breast meat to clean it. I've seen the raw version, right? But also, for me, the effects of the pandemic and the length of time that restaurants were closed, and you know, you're forced to cook because you also don't want to go by people's house. You're trying to contribute to keeping the numbers down. So you're not really going to people's house to eat or to pick up food or whatever. You're trying to stay home as much as possible. So sister and go on supermarket, you're making sure and buying things to put away so that you could cook. And you buy the chicken. Every time, as I said, is a ceremony for me to clean chicken because I want that vinegar I want it to soak in that vinegar so it can highlight the areas that I need to remove. The ones that are easily coming up, I need to remove it. So skin gone, the little fat gone, the black thing in the back of the thigh gone. Well, don't talk about fish. Oh, good Lord. I will have to pay extra for them to clean my fish for me because I bought fish recently and they left the little black thing inside by the bone now. When I opened it and put it in a bowl, literally felt like bringing up my stomach. So my sister came down by me the following weekend and had to clean our fish for me. Of course, I get cussed, but you know, it's Crystal. She ain't putting water in her mouth to say nothing, but she still do it. I love her. So that same weekend, I said, you know what? I will cook for you all. Now, I love a dumpling. The things that I like to cook the things that I like to eat is what I learned to cook first. So, even though I was the one saying all before, I'm not going and cook because I always said the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. That's the saying they say, right? I used to say that's a whole pile of bullshit because the man that I meet, if you cannot cook, you cannot be in my life. I need you to cook. Not to do it all the time, but you take on that now. And I somehow feel that men cook better than women anyway, to be honest. They put all the nice flavorful things in it. But, so sister and gone now and see she cooking curry stew chicken. Now, what I started doing, and I know a lot of you all do that, which is a very wise thing to do, especially when you're busy. When you buy meat for the month or you buy it for the 2 weeks or whatever and you season up everything, fish included, meat and everything, you just put it away. It's easier that way. It's easier for you to say, okay, I will go and cook rather than to now go and take out the meat or to now go and buy it and then come to season it and all of that. That's a big turn off for me in terms of cooking because remember, she don't like the kitchen. So I try to make life easy. One thing though, you see greens like your chive, your celery, shadow bene, and that kind of green seasoning. Oh, I have to do that. I always say I have to do it live. I don't want it pre-done because if I have that before, I don't really like it like that. You don't get the full flavor as when you're now cutting up those things, and the aroma in the kitchen encourages you to want to cook, right? So that's a thing for me. That green seasoning, I love to smell it. So I am seasoning up the chicken, and my sister is on the phone with her friends. You know, she tell everybody. how I trying to kill her because she watching what I put in the thing to season the chicken. Y'all, I probably have a sickness. I really don't like to follow instructions. I do not like when everything is so clinical that I have to follow it step by step. I believe that things need to have your personal flair in it. So you're sitting like recipe and telling me how to do a certain dance step. I don't know how to do them things, Aerobics. Let me do I want to be burning the same sweat. So let me wind the soaker if I want. Or I can't watch somebody and mirror what they're doing. I had to do my own thing. I guess that's the Taurus in me. We own way bad, But anyway, I digress. So in this chicken, I am putting jerk seasoning. I am putting, of course, all the powder seasonings. I am putting, what do they call this thing? I put jeera. I put a little curry powder in it. When my sister looked up and she see me put in ketchup and mustard, she's like, nah, you trying to fucking kill me or what? So she started to tell her friends, Eva, let's see what Paki put in this chicken. Well, they call me Paki. Well, she calls me Paki. And if you see what she put in this chicken to season it, only if something happened to me, only know what it is, right? But it's how this little bitch eat twice after I finish cooking this curry stew, because that's the other thing. When I'm making my Creole food, you cannot not have coconut milk in it. Okay? That brings out the flavor. Oh my gosh. That coconut milk. Now, I want to stop buying the powder because I really want to go on my healthy eating trail. So, I want to stop buying the powder. So, bounce upon a friend of mine who does grated coconuts. And once he gives me that, I will extract the milk from it and all of that kind of thing. But it really did lash in earlier. It lash. I and all eat twice back to back and I love a dumpling. I have to stop loving dumpling because, yeah, this back fat, this belly ain't happening, right? What I was saying is cooking for yourself, really, you control what you put in the food because really and truly, the things that I put in that curry stew, it really wasn't anything that was not healthy. I put less sugar to cook. I cook with coconut oil, right? I don't use the soybean oil and all that. I cook with coconut oil. So you control the portions. You control the things that you're putting in your food when you're cooking it. So there are so many benefits to cooking for yourself, preparing your own food. In fact, when you prepare this food, you could put away because you could cook in bulk. For people like me who don't like to cook, you cook in bulk and you put away for the week. Now, I am not saying to eat the same thing for 5 days consecutively because that is definitely a bore. I cannot do that. It will turn me off of the meal altogether. So, and the other thing I love to cook is, I told you all pilau is my favorite dish, right? Yeah, that's my thing. But second in line is my curry. I can't cook the curry yet. I don't think I'm that brave to make it yet. So I still have to harass my sister Salene to make the curry for me. Or buy it. But if the furthest I've gotten to curry is my curry stew because the procedure of stewing the chicken is what I know. I still run from the pot when I hear shwar. And that's the next thing, boy. I love my fried plantain, and bacon. You see these things that I mentioned, the stew chicken, the plantains, and the, what they call this thing I just say there, bacon. I love them, But why the fuck the oil just want to jump out the pot and burn me on my breast and my belly? You can't be doing things like that. Yes, I know I'm supposed to put on clothes to cook, but no, I'm in my house. I don't need to put on clothes. But the thing just want to jump out the pot and burn people. But anyway... My other thing is macaroni pie. When I learned to make that, I felt like I was a champion. Dwayne Bravo and nothing on me. I felt like the champion. Until friggin' Sean Mark learned how to cook macaroni pie, and I find it tasting better than mine. So now we have to have macaroni pie cook-off, because I know, you all can't be tasting better than mine. But, you see this shit I just be talking? there really are a lot of benefits, as I said before, to preparing your own meals. So on the days that I don't feel like cooking, you cut up a salad. Now, they used to call me the salad queen because there was a time when, and I want to get back to that time, to be honest, when all I would feel to eat is salads. Now, my salad ain't no boring salad. So for the family lines, Salene, your role is to bring the salad and the juice. We will handle the food because we don't want you in the kitchen. They don't trust my food all here. They're kind of skeptical, but it's more for me to eat. Shit. And so I used to make this salad, put your almonds and all the different types of cheeses, the beans and this and that in it. It was a real good thing, man. Good thing. So you can have that, still controlling your portions. Now, the other thing I love to do is to bake my food. It's a piece of laziness because I don't want to be standing up and laboring over no pot. And the splatter on the stovetop when you're cooking stovetop is the cleanup afterwards is what does irritate my ass. So I'd rather bake the stuff. So I will cut up my provisions and veggies and throw them in the oven with the meat. The most I will do is cook the peas stovetop, and I have food for about 3 days interchangeably, and it's so good. No, I cannot believe that I could toot my own horn when it comes to cooking. I never thought this. I would be saying these words. Salene and could cook in the same sentence is not a thing. But it happened. And I'm very proud. That was one of my major accomplishments. Oh, goodness. So, cooking for yourself is also a way to relieve stress. If it is that you are in the kitchen and it helps you to focus. It helps you to focus on the task at hand because you don't want to burn the food. And if you're cooking something that you like, obviously, you're going to enjoy it. I normally will cook to music and have my glass of wine because for some reason, alcohol has to be in the mix for me. And it's enjoyable in that regard. When you cook for yourself, that's one of the things you can do to alleviate the effects of Alzheimer's. Now, we have Alzheimer's in our family as well. So that's one of the things that an activity you can do. A lot of people get into using those word games or anything like that can help you keep your focus and keep your brain activity moving. Well, cooking is one of them. I really do admire people who love to cook, like who put up their recipes all over social media and they bake, and I am drooling over your food. I kid you not. I would never slight eye anybody because you like to do that. Good for you. And the food looks scrumptious. The only thing that's missing is your number to tell me, Salene, bring a bowl. Because chances are people stop giving me food in their containers because I don't return it. I am one of those people who don't return people bowls. So I used to be told, if you want the food, bring your bowl. No shame, none at all. But really and truly, I like the part with you putting what you want in your food and making sure that it's something that you can enjoy. It also improved with my self-esteem because, as I said, I feel as if I've really accomplished something to know that I can cook this and not burn the food. I remember the first time I tried to make bhaji rice, I cried because one, I don't like to waste food. Food is something I do not like to waste because there are so many impoverished people in the world or in my own country, my own community, to go and throw away a whole pot of food because you burn it. Man, I really cry, I'm bad man in my backside, I scrape off the top of it. And I eat that. I remember a time when I was much younger, I tried to cook stew for my grandmother. She was visiting from the States. You ever see stew chicken come out grey all here? How I could forget to tell all you that. The stew chicken come out grey because all this time when I hear it, shwar in the pot for mommy. Remember, I used to run out of the kitchen. So I do not know what she used to put in the pot. I thought it was water and sugar, right? So I put that. The chicken come out grey. It's when mommy reach home, she fix it. It may taste good. Yeah. And so when I made that first pot of bhaji rice, I followed every instruction because mommy was on the phone with me telling me, so how you could not get all right, Gil? How? I feel shame. I haven't cooked bhaji rice since. Have not cooked bhaji rice since that. So shame. But I can make a good pot of pilau. I can make my macaroni pie, my stewed chicken. Oh my gosh, my dumpling. I didn't make crab yet because crab was a thing that I only started to like in 2012. I used to run from it and couldn't understand why mommy used to put this thing inside the kalaloo on a Sunday. It gave it a lovely flavor, but I just found it looked like no sense at all to eat crab. But now it's a must. Like, I can't wait to reach Tobago. So much so, I had 2 crab and dumpling lunches already. When I say lunches, like sold it. Fundraiser things now. I did 2 of those already. I didn't cook it, but I certainly ate a lot. And I want to learn to cook the crab. I guess I'll get to that point eventually because I really want to cook the things that I like. So you could imagine, lamb is something that always cooking in my house because I very like it. I very like it because I very like rosemary. So it's a great way to clear your thoughts cooking for yourself. And it really did give me that level of independence. And I want to encourage the children as well to cook. Although the other day I was trying to shove the cleaning of the chicken on them because I really can't, somehow I can't come to terms with doing that still. But I have to do it. I have to do it. Restaurants are now opened and I'm like, I don't know if I want to go buy the food. I bought some food this week here and I was like, my food tastes better than that. You know, I pop my collar, because I'm like, my food tastes better than that. I well like it. I well like it. But guys, it's a short one today because I just wanted to give you a little lightness on this beautiful day that we have been given and to tell you how that girl named Salene, could cook. But I really, really find that when dude comes around, whoever he is, he had to know how to cook. Because that can't be for me to do all the time. I can't take the sweating in the kitchen. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening. And we will come back again with another episode inside the Naked Podcast. Can't wait to get naked with you all again. And remember to always be a good human. Thanks so much to Cam Productions for your editing prowess. Thank you so much for that. Remember, you can drop your comments, your views right here on The Salene Solution on Facebook or Instagram. On Salene Solution, it's The Salene Solution. Remember to drop your comments and let's chat about it. We can always share your thoughts about the podcast, about the topics, and even you can give me topics that you all want us to discuss. It's going to be fun. All right. So in the meantime, cheers for now and happy cooking.
Picture perfect, you don't need no filter. Gorgeous, make them drop dead, you a killer. Shower you